What if the world really did end in 2012, just not in the way we expected? Back when everyone laughed about the Mayan calendar countdown, something else was happening. Deep under Switzerland, a machine the size of a small city fired particles at impossible speeds. CERN said it was science. A few whistleblowers said it was a key that could crack reality open. Right after that year, everything began to feel slightly bent. Memories shifted, symbols changed. Products you grew up with suddenly looked wrong. Geography moved. People swore events happened that no longer exist. Every timeline glitch got brushed off as bad memory, but the pattern kept stacking. Ancient civilizations across the world predicted a turning point in 2012. They did not all choose the same year by coincidence. Maybe they sensed the pressure building in the foundation of our reality. Maybe they recorded the moment the timeline would fracture. If that machine changed the path we were on, how many of us actually remember the world before it happened? What if the lights in your home aren't just lighting your room, but quietly shaping your mind? For years, they told us brighter is better, cleaner, more efficient. Yet every upgrade feels like a downgrade. Sleep gets worse, anxiety climbs. People feel wired late into the night. And the strange part is no one asks why old bulbs feel calming while the new ones hit your brain like a silent alarm. Look closely. One glows like a sunset. The other blasts a cold synthetic glare. One relaxes your nervous system. The other mirrors the same spectrum used in screens and signs that keep you awake long after your body wants to shut down. They pushed millions to replace warm bulbs with something harsher, more stimulating, easier to track, easier to influence. Sleep issues spike the same moment the world shifts to artificial daylight in every bedroom. Kids can't wind down. Adults toss for hours. And companies call it progress. A global rollout that keeps people more alert, more tired, more dependent. So why phase out what soothed you and replace it with something that agitates your brain? What are we really seeing when we flip that switch at night? What if the only place rival nations suddenly become best friends is the one place you can't step foot on without their approval? They say Antarctica is just empty ice, yet it's the only continent where countries that fight over borders, oil, and oceans sign treaties, share bases, and guard the land like a vault. Why cooperate here? You can visit war zones more easily than the South Pole. Ordinary people need layers of permission just to get near it. Every route controlled. Every expedition monitored. And if this is only about penguins, why the secrecy? Restricted zones, old military sites no one explains, blurred satellite patches, scientists reporting lights under the ice, strange sounds from miles below, crews constantly rotated so no one stays long. What are they keeping hidden? Maybe it's not the surface, it's what lies beneath. Ancient structures, unknown energy, something capable of rewriting human history. And the only way to bury that truth is to turn the coldest place on Earth into the most protected. If Antarctica is harmless, why do the world's most divided governments guard it like the one secret they fear the public discovering?
We look at their rockets. This is how they claim they get into outer space, is these rockets. Their rockets never go straight up. Every single rocket launch from a government space agency, you'll notice, follows a parabolic curve. It goes up, it reaches a peak, but what they do is as the rocket starts coming back down, they make sure that it goes down over the ocean, out of the way of any curious observers. Anyone can see it coming back down to Earth, asks, hey, how come the rocket's not going up anymore? Well, it's going around the curvature of the Earth, is what they tell us. So every single rocket, the reason that it follows a parabolic curve, they say, is because it's going around the curvature of the Earth. The real reason is they can't get up any higher than that.
The only thing that's been to space is your imagination.
They tell us that the Earth is a sphere. They show us pictures of a sphere, of a circle. It's a perfect circle. And then they come out and they say, well, it's actually an oblate spheroid. Oh, what's that? Well, it's a sphere that's flattened at both poles, so it's more of an oval shape. It actually bulges out south of the equator, as well as being flattened at the poles. So it's more pear-shaped.
So it's not actually a sphere. It's oblate. And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good word. It's like pear-shaped.
So now it's pear-shaped. So Why are all of these official NASA photos and videos showing perfect spheres when it's actually an oblate spheroid or a pear-shaped spheroid? They can't get their story straight. And the reason they keep changing it is that to fit the model, they have to change the shape of the Earth. South of the equator is larger than north of the equator because lines of longitude that just extend outwards, they don't contract back. So they concede that in their pear model. They say, well, the side bulges out south of the equator. It's bigger south of the equator. Yeah, it is, because it's flat. But instead of admitting that, they just, make tweaks to their model as time goes on. They say that the ball Earth tilts back 23.5 degrees. That's another tweak they made because we can see Polaris, which is right over the North Pole, from 23.5 degrees south latitude. Shouldn't be able to see that on a ball. So they just tilt the Earth back and then okay, now you can see it. And so they come up with explanations in reverse like this, damage control, reverse engineered explanations.